Thank you so much once again for joining us. This is News Tonight. My name is Patricia Lukoma. I'm Pango to take you through the details of the bulletin. Now into the bulletin, Vice President Jessica Alopo has appealed to teachers to help connect grassroots people with the prevailing development programs in communities to impact on their livelihoods. Ms. Alopo was at a function at a primary school in Katakwi district.
Education is a very important tool that anyone can use to change the world on the affirmative. Education is compulsory in Uganda, and it is a must for every child. If there are children who are loitering in the villages or in the town councils when their friends are in the classroom, it is a responsibility of the RDC and the leaders of that area to ensure that all those children are in the classroom. No child should be locked out of the gate because of uniform. His Excellency the President, you have heard him say that let the child be in class even if he's naked. Because the most important thing is the teacher in front of that child. That's what he has said. The most important thing is the teacher in front of that child. And let the children be in class, and you handle the administrative arrangements of these other development programs of the school with the parents. Don't involve the child. Don't make a child a victim. But I want to thank the teachers of this school. I want to thank the parents of this school for where you have come from to where you are now. And all schools are struggling in the same way. Some of us may have been beneficiaries of those programs of livelihoods. Some of them include, but not limited to, Operation Wealth Creation, NADS, Youth Livelihood, Women Fund, EMIOGA, and PDM. So if we are saying that government is building roads, electricity is coming, health of the people is being attended to, the ambulances are now out, so we shall not have again stress. They arrange the ambulances in such a way that Usu County has the ambulance, Ngariam County has the ambulance, and Toroma County has the ambulance. Water sector is being attended to, education sector, peace and security. Let's now connect those ones to wealth creation through these livelihood programs, which have a lot of money, which is already in the hands of our people, and the results will be visible. I want to appeal to teachers that you are very strong pillars in the communities. Let's connect the two, the programs of development and the programs of the livelihood. Because what the head teacher was talking about, this fund for boarding, this fund for development, the other one for first aid, the other one for health, this is where the center of gravity is. The center of gravity is on the improvement of the household income. The parents themselves would actually be the ones calling the head teacher, SMC and PTA, and saying, you sit down, for us as parents, we have come out of poverty and we will now want to do A, B, C, D, E.
Now, news just in. President Yoweri Museveni has said that Uganda's natural biodiversity presents important opportunities for adaptation and mitigation that can greatly contribute to global reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. In a message delivered for him by the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja, Mr. Museveni said that Uganda can reduce up to 24.7% of greenhouse gas emissions by the year 2030.
The president's message was delivered by the Prime Minister of Uganda at the ongoing COP28 summit at the closure of the first high-level segment for heads of state and government in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Museveni says that recently some parts of the country experienced floods, landslides and prolonged drought with rising temperatures, yet the country contributes only 0.01% of the global emissions.
Uganda is mindful of the rampant degradation and the associated impacts escalating climate change. As a result, the government of Uganda has come up with policies to protect and preserve our environment and biodiversity.
The president says that Uganda is mindful of the rampant degradation and the associated impacts escalating climate change. As a result, Uganda has come up with policies to protect and preserve her environment and biodiversity. Nabanja used this opportunity to invite heads of state and government attending the summit to come and participate in the 19th Non-Allied Movement NAM, the G77 and China Summit that Uganda will be hosting in January 2024.
Your Excellencies, Uganda as the chair of the G77 plus China for the 2024 wishes to commend the group for identifying the topics and priorities which the group will focus on during the 2024 negotiations under the UNFCCC.
The Prime Minister later made presentations at the side event organized by International Organization for Migration, IOM, where over 30 countries have signed the Kampala Ministerial Declaration on Migration, Environment and Climate Change, which outlines concerns on the effects of climate change on human mobility.
It is our hope and belief that the Kampala Declaration will serve as a continental reference document for managing the nexus between migration and climate change. It will also ignite our sense of collective responsibility and effort to address the human mobility challenges across the African continent and the global at large.
As people's lives are put at risk, as people's livelihoods are eroded, as people's futures grow dim, that we instead are working together to deliver on something that will change their future. And we at IOM stand with you, Excellencies, as you take this historic step together.
Nabanja later in the day also made a presentation at the NAMSide event meeting organized by Cuba. At the meeting, Nabanja said that there is need for urgent funding of all interventions aimed at environmental conservation.
We therefore appeal partnerships to offset these climate change costs.
Last evening, Uganda was announced as one of the countries that will benefit from the $100 million grant to strengthen food security systems in Africa.
To be amongst the 7 first countries to benefit from this package is a great thing, and I would like to really call upon my colleagues who are going to implement this fund to make sure that we efficiently implement this fund without any loss, because we are looking for more funds. And I hope that at the end of the day, we will be hearing such good news throughout this COP.
Africa, we are producers. We are home to over 65% of the minerals that are necessary for greening the world in terms of energy. So we must take advantage of that.
The Prime Minister was accompanied by several ministers that include Sam Cheptoris, the Minister for Water and Environment, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, the Minister for Health, Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, State Minister for Environment Beatrice Anywar, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Okello Oryem, among others. The summit continues until the 12th of December 2023.
Researchers on HIV/AIDS prevention, care and treatment have expressed concern over the packaging and dissemination of information and messages about HIV/AIDS as opposed to the fear of tactics. The head of prevention, care and treatment at the Infectious Disease Institute, Dr. Agri Semede, says HIV/AIDS disease no longer scares, but much emphasis should be put on changing obstructive messages and also segmenting HIV/AIDS prevention information for 13 and 14-year-old teenagers.
In Uganda, close to 1.2 million people are living positively with HIV and AIDS. This number is expected to increase because of the need to keep them alive. The Infectious Disease Institute over the years has maintained 200,000 Ugandans alive through offering right information about HIV and AIDS in their programs. Much emphasis has been put on prevention through providing pre-exposure prophylaxis, research on clinical trials, and have now moved to injectable antiretroviral drugs. One of the biggest things that needs to be done is knowing the changes in the community and adapting messages that advocates for HIV and AIDS prevention.
This should be supported to test 95%. We need to have 95% of people tested. And those tested, we need to be linked and 95% of them, and also 95% of patients are linked and on treatment suppressed. In other words, that majority of us suppressed. So one of the key challenges has been adapting. Now we are many years down the road, so we have to change with the times.
Previous studies have shown a downward curve on HIV and AIDS spread in schools and higher institutions of learning, but an increase has been registered in the spread of other sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, which is attributed to high-risk behaviors, substance abuse and prostitution in higher institutions of learning.
Dynamic social life can be a risk in those aspects because, you know, if you will take alcohol, if you'll get excited, if you'll meet, doesn't mean you see, when you see a low prevalence population, you don't neglect them. You focus on them.
Of them in universities, but even we go down as low as secondary schools, as you can imagine. You know, in this country, people start having sex around, what, 14, 13? It's a worrying trend because, you know, teenage pregnancies during COVID, all that tell you something. That's where we should actually focus. By the time you reach university, you may be already in a different place.
Students who come here when they are 18, and so people who are still 18 to around 25 are still struggling with those teen adolescent issues. So the risk behaviors come up because they are finding independence for the first time, and therefore they are misusing this independence, and they are mixing. Each is coming from a different background, a different school, a different family.
Country where we are, children are having sex, but parents, religious leaders, or their caregivers are really failing to appreciate the same. That means that they're not giving them the relevant information that they need to protect themselves from contracting HIV. But also that means that when they contract HIV, they're not in position to disclose to them for support. So they live in denial, they live in...
Macquarie University established a counseling and guidance center to address students' psychological needs, although the main place to handle students seeking HIV and AIDS services is the university hospital. Evelyn Karono Lufafa, a counseling psychologist, says many of the students get the services from the university hospital.
From here say is that, yes, the number of cases that go to use the services are quite many, because why? When the counselors who deal with these children, or even us, sometimes when you ask us as a child or a student that how many sexual partners do you have or something, someone can tell you I have 4. There's a lot of casual sex among university students, whereby people don't have to really take time to know each other. And so
students at Macquarie University shared their opinions with us about campus lifestyle that often exposes them to risk of contracting HIV and AIDS.
Being involved in such, they are most of the times involved in drug use and alcoholism. So by the time they get involved in acts like sexual intercourse, they don't take caution to prevent themselves or protect themselves in any way.
It is for those who are not conscious, because there are those who are living a risky or an experimental lifestyle when they're not conscious or not protected, and those that are at least somehow conscious.
So far, I think I've not practiced that stuff. So I'm still abstaining. But for anyone who is willing, or if I've told them to do it, I prefer using protection.
Besides the services rendered in the prevention of HIV and AIDS in communities, messages have been tailored on emphasizing prevention like abstinence, be faithful and use a condom strategy. However, Dr. Semere says the messages have not had a big impact on the vulnerable community, a matter he attributes to changing generations.
Part of what happens even at university, that I'm free, I have money. Now, dealing with that behavioral environment needs expertise, social behavior expertise. Someone has to actually dig into a bit, there's something deeper there that we have to understand. Know of some programs or grants that are actually looking at sexual behavioral health around HIV at Makerere itself, and they're digging into some of these nitty-gritty, of especially around prevention. And so it's a bit of a gap, but it's also a changing dynamic.
Evelyn Karono says what exposes the young people between the ages of 18 to 25 who join university to engage in risky behaviors is inadequate information on sexual and reproductive health. While Ruth Awor from Uganda Network of Young People Living with HIV and AIDS holds a contrary view of people thinking that the teens hardly engage in sexual activities.
We need a lot of campaigns in the university, whether in the halls of residence, in lecture rooms, either messages that are just speaking trees or, speaking walls or, on social media to raise awareness of sex and reproduction health, because this is where the issue is. There's be a lot of information giving about safer behaviors and safer sex and knowing their rights.
Do we have systems where they can go for psychosocial support? Do they have a counselor they can speak to about issues that affect their well-being, about their mental health? But also when they need to go out for treatment, do we have avenues that they can secure permissions to go for their clinical checkups and appointments on time?
Whereas the other bulk of HIV and AIDS cases are transmitted through mother to child, the Executive Director, Uganda Network of Youth Living with HIV and AIDS, Ruth Awori, says the biggest challenge is with the children not adhering to treatment when they grow and start going to school.
Instruct one to take medicine, go take medicine, or even you administer it yourself. But when they reach a school-going age and they have to go out of the control of their parents, then it becomes a challenge, because then that requires a parent to disclose to the child their HIV status so that they can know why they are taking the treatment. In situations where the children do not know why they're taking the medicine, that's why you find that they're actually not taking their medicine very well when they're not under the care of their parents, and they end up having viral load, very high viral loads, and you find that sometimes even this translates into drug resistance.
Dr. Semere appeals to the youth to stick to prevention as opposed to treating, which often comes with expensive cost burden, not affordable to many.
But right now, partly when I talk about it, it's abstract. It's very abstract. I don't feel it. Even if I knew someone is, it may be hard for me to perceive. Generation, you say, okay, yes, HIV is not a death sentence, but you are going to have to take a tablet all your life. Is that what you want to do? And, we have to draw blood on you, we have to do this monitoring. It's not bad, but it's a cost. And if if you can, keep away.
The biggest challenge encountered by medical experts in maintaining HIV and AIDS patients on treatment is patients reporting for treatment when they are in advanced stages of their CD4 count. This is attributed to society discrimination that causes stigma among the HIV and AIDS patients. I'm Nafka Farida and Juman Samba in Kampala.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Jovia ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kkomo ku ki ky'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
In this family, we can't agree on anything. Martha. We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long.
Anti-economy.
I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
In
the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy Wanawoli.
Welcome back. Let's step into the world of business. And of course, as we get into Mbarara City South tax operators, Imyoga Sacco, with an initial 30 million shillings capital, has thrived, aiding members in permit renewals, vehicle purchases, and with members funding their children's school fees. These achievements prompted the Microfinance Support Center to organize a peer learning visit for Bunyoro Emyoga leaders to pick a leaf from their Ankole counterparts.
In a notable economic empowerment, Mbarara City South Taxi Operators Emyoga Sacco, launched with a 30 million shillings government grant in 2021, has seen impressive success, with savings now reaching 150 million shillings, providing crucial financial stability for taxi drivers.
When drivers want to renew their permits, we give them money, they go and renew their permits. Some of the drivers, we give them money, they go and buy their own vehicles.
Similarly, Mbarara City South Women Entrepreneurs Emyoga Sacco is empowering women across diverse ventures, impressing the visiting Bunyoro Emyoga Sacco delegation. This highlights the transformative impact of Emyoga initiatives in fostering gender-inclusive development.
We make blackboard chalk, we make wines from our already grown grapes. We also make charcoal briquettes from waste products. So women should have a mindset change. They should think of at least having an income generation in their homes.
Nyakayojo People's Sacco emphasizes the importance of strong foundation and practical financial management in achieving sustainable growth.
For institution to grow, you first love your institution. They should love their institutions. Secondly, they should avoid giving long-term loans, because when you give out long-term loan, at the end of the day, the institution will lack liquidity. So, and liquidity is the most challenge in most of the circles.
Isaiah People's Sacco in Ivanda district highlights the positive impact of strategic financial assistance on grassroots initiatives, emphasizing teamwork and transparency to Emyoga Sacco leaders.
Another thing that can help Emyoga to grow is when they use education. Most members don't pay their loans because they don't know where they are going. The members must know how their circles are being governed.
Bitereko Sacco in Mitoma district, amid challenges, shines as a beacon of hope, with its general manager stressing the importance of leadership in overcoming obstacles.
I call upon these Emyoga Saccos to at least improve on their governance, because the very big challenge in the Sacco is governance. When these leaders decide to take the Sacco in the right direction, it can move on.
The Microfinance Support Center arranged a benchmarking peer learning visit for Bunyoro Emyoga leaders in Ankole to foster collaboration and knowledge exchange, promoting collaboration and knowledge exchange to enhance the success of Emyoga programs in both regions.
Well, let's go for another short break and return with the sports stories.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Now, a little back into the world of business. After the ban on tree cutting, renowned innovator Also, proprietor of bioresearch, Professor Mukenkufu Julius Nyanzi, has invented a stove that uses waste oil. During the training at the 8th grade Sundowner in Kampala, Nyanzi said the innovation saves domestic expenditure on firewood, charcoal, electricity bills and cooking. Ahabiona Francisco has more.
In July this year, President Museveni signed an executive order to all RDCs, police and UPDF to stop any more cutting down of trees and burning of charcoal, with all those found dealing in charcoal business prosecuted. The directive has caused an increase in the prices of charcoal and firewood. But Prof Bioresearch has invented an eco-friendly biodiesel stove that uses waste oil. During the training for over 200 participants at the 8th grade Sounddown in Kampala, Prof Bioresearch Chief Executive Professor Julius Nyanzi said the biodiesel stove will save the rampant cutting of trees.
Prof Bioresearch, we have come up with a resource, and that is used oil. Today there is a big ban on charcoal, and most Ugandans, 80%, have been using charcoal firewood. So when we realized that problem, we came up with an innovation of using used oil, and it gives us clean energy. But the only thing you have to put into consideration is pumping oxygen through it. Because when you pump oxygen through it, it becomes clean energy. We've innovated the bio stove, which uses the oil. You put it in a reservoir, it moves through the pipe, and oxygen mixes with it, and it gives light and heat at the same time, which cooks food very fast. Because when you are cooking beans, for example, beans take a lot of charcoal. You can spend like 4 hours cooking beans. But with this type of system, it's only 30 minutes, the beans are ready. So I'm calling upon Ugandans to think outside the box.
Currently, Uganda loses over 9,000 hectares of forest, and a report shows that by 2030, there will be no more trees standing for charcoal burning.
To our plant resources, if we are to prosper and we move into the money economy. Poverty is the problem of the mindset, I can say. Because what we have in Uganda is enough to make us prosper economically. But the challenge is that people despise our potential, and our potential is nature. Most of you think that going into value chain in the line of plants means that you're a traditional person. In the 8th grade Sundowner, we have showed people that you can use your local available resources to move forward economically.
The 8th grade Sundown in Kampala trains in technology and science, modern farming, agribusiness and cottage industries. Former Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance in charge of privatization, Chekamondo Rukia Kulany, tips government to engage Prof Bioresearch in the next round of disbursement of PDM funds.
According to my observation and what I have gone through, it is one of the best programs. And I feel that if government took this program and gave it to the PDM program, it would have been very successful. The things are made here, they are marketable here. Some of them are things that we can consume within ourselves.
I'm a lab assistant. I've come to learn some new things. I want to go and put that wisdom at my place.
Kisinze okundita okusoma ku kitiko kyagano dama n'okusoma ensogasoga.
The 8th grade Sundowner slogan, "Money grows on trees," encourages Ugandans to save the environment because of its capacity to generate money. Ahabiona Francisco, UBC News.
And that does bring us to the end of News Tonight at 8. More stories will come your way at 10 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Please stay tuned.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Jovia. Ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agataziiza